Hi, it's Macy here. Just gonna make a video for people on my YouTube channel, but I figured I'd I figured I'd make a video on my God, that light on my phone's bright. I'll turn this back around. I figured I'd make a video about my UPSs, or as everybody says on the internet off of YouTube, uninterruptible power supplies. I have 4 UPSs around my house. There's one in the TV room that protects the TV, DirecTV box, the clock, and something else that's plugged into it. The other one is in the front room that protects the Xbox, another game system, the television, and the radio, and another clock. But in my room, as you can see down here, I got this baby. It's called a Cyber Power UPS, and the model, or I should say the VA that it can hold is a 850 VA amps, which would translate to about 600 watts. But I'll go over real quickly what all you do and what all it does. But what I've got plugged into this is CenturyLink router, the 3 cameras that are on the television, my alarm clock, computer monitor, receiver for the cameras, and my gaming desktop, and the antenna that gives me free television stations. And in the front, as you can see, it has 2 USB ports for charging your phone, tablet, or to charge a battery bank that can also charge your phone. And what I did that might surprise most people, but see back there, the UPS is plugged into the wall. But what's interesting is, let me move some of this stuff around. This, it's a Monster 2106 Jolt Surge Protection. Now, the reason why I got a surge protector plugged into the back of the UPS and not just everything plugged into the back of the UPS is because everything that you see in this picture that is up and running, I want to keep up and running when the power goes out. So say the power goes out, okay, this can only power 5 things, but I've got, as you can see, I've got more than 5 things. Because I've got TV antenna, that's 1, computer 2, monitor, television 3, screen 4, receiver 5, then my clock is number 6, and then my phone charger right there is number 7. And this is number 8. So I've got 8 things plugged into this UPS, and you can see here, we'll go through the display to see what I'm using. Yeah, I've had that many power outages, just so you know. Estimated runtime is about 46 to 45 minutes by what this shows. 100% charge. Output is good. It is only going between 14 and 19 VA, which is not that bad. Oh, do it again. Output is good. It's only going between 100 and, let's say, around 119, 126. It differs too much when you got this much plugged into it, but 91 watts is how much this is having to output right now, which I could have way more stuff plugged into it. Output 60 hertz, that's good. And then the output is 123 and the input is 123. Now we'll enter the setup menu and go over that. Settings, outputs. No. Yes. Settings event is 0, which means I've never messed with the settings. Okay. Output. I don't get that. Oh, that's what I have it set to. When the voltage drops to 103, it'll kick on. Stupid thing. And when the voltage goes up to 129, it'll kick on battery. The sensitivity is set to high. Now, why do I have the sensitivity set to high? Is because when we get the smallest of surge or power flicker, I want this thing to be able to pick it up and do what it has to do. Let's go back. I don't care. Okay. Now, the cool thing about this is there's this cord that goes here and goes all the way down into the back of that. And what the cool thing is that you can get this software off of CyberPower's website, but shoot, I'm trying to figure out how to hold this good while I'm moving my mouse. But this is Power Panel per Personal Edition for CyberPower, not APC. This is the one. Make sure you get the one for CyberPower, not APC, because they're totally different. But where we're at is we're on the monitor page, so you can see electrical power is supplied by AC utility, voltage supplied 123, power condition normal, battery 100%, battery status fully charged, remaining runtime estimated 39 minutes. UPS load is right at 96 watts. Now, I will tell you that when you do stuff on the gaming computer that I have, that 96 watts right there, it'll go up and stay steady at 123, since I only got this programmed open. My computer doesn't have pretty much of a load, so it stays right around 96 watts. But go here where it says summary, you can see that last power event, utility power was lost at such and such time and date. And the periods go back a week to 24 weeks. But it'll tell you power outages, under voltage, over voltage, never, never, never. And then it'll say voltage regulation. it's never had to boost it or it's never had to buck it. And yes, this thing has the power to boost my voltage. Say that the voltage is going crazy at my house and it is not staying where it needs to be. This can use the battery to boost the voltage back where it's supposed to go. So now we'll go to, shoot, let me get this better. Okay. So now we'll go to configure. What you can do is you can schedule days when you can decide what time to turn off your computer and equipment. See, this software allows you to have a function that if you don't want your stuff running 24/7 like my security cameras or the router or whatever, like you can set it to be on between a certain time or be off and come back on at a certain time. Notifications, you can enable notifications to where the power goes out and the software is up. Software can be minimized, but it'll pop back up and say power is out in a little notification. Runtime, this is where you can configure your UPS. You can configure to keep your computer running till the lowest is till it has 5 minutes left on the battery, then it'll shut everything down. Or you can click preserve battery power to where after 5 minutes is elapsed, it'll shut your stuff down. Voltage, you can select what you want your UPS to do. When the voltage gets to the lowest you can go, which is 97, it'll kick on, but I have mine set at 103 just for safety reasons. And when the voltage gets to 135, which is the highest setting, which I have mine at 129 because it has gotten up to 129 that before, because Duke Energy sucks. Now, initiate self-test. What you can do is you can hit initiate self-test. You will see that the UPS kicked on to battery. And give it a second. And it kicks back on. And what that basically does is it allows you to test your UPS to ensure that it is working, that there's no batteries gone bad, that it'll kick on and off when it's supposed to, when the power drops or whatever. And you can see their date of last test was just yesterday, and the result of last test, which was just now, was it passed. And then advanced is where you can set the sensitivity. Say you have surges that happen a lot, or a lot of line noise that brings your power up and down a lot from your really line noise making equipment. Well, if the sensitivity is set to low, what it'll do is that when it picks up something, it'll see it, but when the sensitivity is on low, the slightest glitch, it won't pick that up as easily as a bigger surge that was to happen. So if you have your sensitivity on high, it'll pick up the slightest flicker of your power and take care of that for you, instead of just missing it and letting it go. So now that we've went over the software, let's go back and explain just a little bit more. Okay, since I'm not going to shut my computer down right now at the moment and turn off everything with this and screw it up, what you would do is you would hold this in till you heard a beep and it shut off. Now when you start it, you hold it in till it goes beep, 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 and then you let go, and then it'll turn itself on. Now the good part about this is that when the power goes out, say you've got just one of these USB chargers that plugs into a brick or would plug into the side of one of these that you have a spare. You can plug this into the front of this and say you shut your computer off, or you have everything turned off except this when the power's out. You can plug in two of these and charge a tablet or a phone 2 or 3 times before this goes dead. Because as you see, with 8 things plugged into it, I am drawing just the most minimal load possible. Because when we go back to monitor current status, you can see that the UPS load with all these 8 things plugged into it is only relatively 96 watts, which still gives you 43 minutes of good time to use. But now, let's take another journey to here. Here is a APC Smart UPS 750, which means this is 750 VA. Now, this used to be where that one is right there. The CyberPower used to be here, and this used to be under my desk. And also, I have another monster surge protection with 1260 joules, and I'll explain why I use this besides just keeping all my stuff hooked in so it's on battery backup. But this is a step up from the CyberPower I just showed you. The reason why I say it's a step up is because I've got weather radio plugged in, radio charger, what else? I got my Motorola Mini 2-pager and this, I can hold this, scanner plugged in, and I've got camera number 4 plugged into this. So yeah, I'm currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things plugged into this right now. 6 things plugged into this, and you can see once that clears away, I'm drawing a 0% load. Out of all this 6 things that are plugged into that, I'm drawing a 0% load, which means this will run for about a good 2 hours on just the batteries. But what makes this better than the CyberPower is that software, you can do all that just from the screen and the exit button. The exit button is your menu button for this. So you press it, menu stats, which means this is the enter button. Press it, says you're operating on utility green, which means that for utility green. Last self-test passed. Last transfer test ended. Output is 122.39 volts. Gigahertz is 60, which is good. Input, same, good. Estimated runtime. With this at no load whatsoever, I could run everything I just showed you for 4 hours and 22 minutes on just the battery. Battery charge 100%. Load 0. Load power 0. Efficiency not available. Now to just go back, you hit escape. Well, yeah, escape. It doesn't work. Now, See, that was most of the features that you could do on that software, but we just did from the UPS itself. Now you go down, menu configuration, hit enter, language, English, of course, reset factory, no, battery install, January 16, 2016, audible alarm on, menu type standard, local power quality poor. Now this gives you an option to set your local power quantity. If your power company has good reviews on keeping your power stable and steady and not too many blackouts or brownouts, you'll hit enter and you'll set this to good. Now since Duke Energy, which is our power company, since they can't maintenance their equipment, we get a lot of surges, spikes, voltage going up, voltage going down, all that good stuff. And when a storm comes through, the power usually shuts off because of the high winds. So I have it set to poor. What that means is that it'll recognize that the local power is poor, so that when every time there's a glitch, spike, whatever, it'll catch it and do what it needs to do to fix it. So we'll go up. Okay, that's the end of that. Escape. Now we can go down. Menu, test, and diagnostics. UPS self-test. Now what you can do here is you can hit enter, hit test, and then hit enter again after you've selected yes. And what this will do is it'll test itself without you having to test it with it being hooked up to the software. And you can see that it passed. So we'll go to menu, that again. Calibration test. What this will do is it'll calibrate the thing. I don't know. Stop. Need minimum 10. Okay, we can't do the calibration test because it needs a minimum of a 10% load. And since we're running zero load, the calibration test won't start. So, UPS alarm test. This allows you to test your alarms. Short test, cancel mute, mute all alarms, continuous test, short test. We'll do the short test. Okay. So all the alarms work. So that's how you test the alarms to make sure they work. Okay, escape. Main menu about. Enter. Tells you the UPS model, Smart UPS 750. UPS. Now this has firmware built into it. So it's got UPS firmware 2, COM port 02.1. UPS firmware 1, UPS 05.0. And it says you are to replace battery by December 2019. Battery installed, it says date June 2016. Battery part number, it gives you the part number for the battery that's in there. UPS manufacture date January 2011. So this is very old, but it's good. I got it refurbished from eBay. And it gives you its serial number. And it gives you the part number for the UPS. And so on. So we'll go back. Okay, now, here is the off and on switch. What you'll do is you'll hold this in. And then it'll shut off. After you hold it in, it beeps once. After you hold it in and it beeps twice, let go. This will stay on. Now to get this off, well, turn everything back on here, but turn UPS off. Do we want to? Yes. Enter. Calibration test. I do not know what the hell I just did. Okay, then I guess there is a way to bypass the calibration test on it then. But just a quick, or show you. Oh, yeah, this thing ain't light, folks. This thing is very heavy. But just to give you a little idea what's on the back, you got your serial port to plug into the computer. You got phone cable port for your phone. And right down there is where the fuse is. That's, oh shit, if I can point. That's the reset switch. This is, I don't really know what that is, but okay. These two right here, these 3 ports are your battery backup. Then you got 3 more over there, which are just surge. Holy shit. Sorry. Okay, let me skip this back now. Okay. Now, as you can tell, I have these monster surge protectors plugged into a UPS that has surge protection built in. So you're probably thinking, why does this nutcase of a person have a surge protector when this already has it? Well, the reason being that I have a surge protector plugged into the back of the battery backup outlet on the UPS is because not only does extra outlets give me more room to plug in stuff to the battery backup, but since this is a 2106 jolt surge protector from Monster, it also gives me added surge protection with the surge protection that's in the UPS. And I'll explain for just a minute. So say there is a big surge spike, the highest surge spike that you can ever get. And say that surge is able to get past the UPS's surge protection, and it's able to travel out and come into here. Well, if there's a surge, say this thing offers 3,000 joules of surge protection, okay? But say you get a surge protection that's 4,000 joules. Well, that extra 1,000 joules is not going to get caught by the surge protector, and it's going to go all the way to this surge protector, which is rated for 2,106 joules, which is going to gently take that extra 1,000 joules and catch it so it doesn't harm anything here. That's why I have it. Not just for the extra outlets for the battery backup to power, just so that if there's a higher surge than what this can handle, this can take whatever's left so that it doesn't kill my stuff. And yes, Monster does actually make surge protectors that actually have surge protectant in them. They're just not a power strip like everybody says. And Monster's a good brand. Buy them. They sell them on eBay. They're really good. But sorry to make this video last half an hour, but I kind of ramble on when I get to talking, so I'll let you guys go, and I'll see you later.